Hi, good morning, my friends. Let's continue our science topic. And the topic for today is about germination of a seed, flower production, pollination, and fertilization. Yeah, take a look to the picture there. There are 6 steps about germination of a seed. The first one, as you know before, with enough water, air, and warmth, a seed can start germinating. After that, the roots appear. Take a look to the second picture. The roots appear. After the roots appear, is the shoot appears. Now, the seed leaves provide the seedling with food. And then the leaves appear. Take a look here. The leaves appear. Okay. After that, the leaves start making the food. The seed coat falls off. Yes, the seed coat falls off here as the seed leaves have been exhausted. The last one, the young plant has grown into an adult plant by producing the flowers. Okay, let's learn about the flower's body part. Okay, flowers contain the male and female reproductive organs of flowering plants. We start from the male organ. The male organ is called stamen. The stamen consists of the filament here, and an anther which carries the pollen grain. Okay. And the female organ is called the carpel. When I hear the carpel. The carpel consists of stigma at the top, style, ovary, and the last one is ovule. Okay. Okay, so what is pollination? Before you have known about anther and stigma. As you know before, the anther, it is a part of the stamen of the male organ, and then the stigma, it is a part of female organ. Then the process for the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the same species is called pollination. Here I give you the picture about the pollination that is done by the bee. The process starts from the pollinators. Here the pollinator is a bee. The pollinator visits the flower and collects nectar. Okay. Collects nectar. When the bee collects nectar, the pollen is rubbed onto pollinator's body. And then the pollinator carries the pollen on its body to another flower. So when the bee goes to another flower, the pollen will be transferred to the stigma of the new flower. So there, the pollination has taken place. There are 2 types of pollination. The first type is the cross-pollination. The cross-pollination is about the pollination that happens between flowers from different plants of the same species. And about self-pollination, the second one, if the self-pollination is the pollination that happens within the same flowers or different flowers with the same plant. So if cross-pollination, happens at the different flowers, and the self-pollination, it happens within the same flowers. Take a look to the picture. Here, the cross-pollination between flowers from different plants, from plant A to the plant B. You call it as the cross-pollination. And about self-pollination within the same flower at the plant B, okay? The self-pollination flower from plant B also with the flower from plant B. That is the point. Different flower is cross-pollination, and that happens within the same flowers is self-pollination. The last one is about fertilization. Fertilization is the fusing of a male reproductive part with the female reproductive part. Okay, a fusing of male and female reproductive part. When a pollen grain lands on the surface of a stigma, when the pollen grains land on the surface of the stigma, it produces a tube. Take a look to the tube here. It produces a tube. And then the inside of the tip of the tube contains the male cells of the flower. The tubes grow down, friends. Take a look. The tubes grow down here, till reach to the ovules in the ovary. Till reach to the ovule in the ovary. And then, where the male reproductive part will fuse with the female reproductive part, it means the fertilization occurs. Okay, the tip of the pollen tube breaks open, and then the male reproductive part fuse with the female reproductive part. It means the fertilization occurs. Inside the ovule is an egg cell. So the male reproductive part fuse with the female in the ovule. And then once fertilization has taken place, the ovule develops into a seed. Okay, the ovule develops into a seed. How about the ovary? The ovary develops into a fruit. And how about with the egg cell in the ovule? The egg cell in the ovule develop into plant embryo. This is the example about how a fruit forms from a flower on a tomato plant. The first one, okay, the flower petals start to wither. Okay, and then the second one is the ovary starts to swell. The ovary, and then the fruits grow bigger and the seed develop inside the fruit. That's all the step about how a fruit forms, and the example is from the tomato plant. Okay, I think that's all, friends, for the science topic today. Please be focused with the flower body parts, and the process of pollination, also fertilization. If you have questions, you may ask me from the comment column, or you ask me directly privately by WhatsApp. Thank you for your attention, dear.